Welcome back, anglers. I'm the Survivalist, and we returned to Russian Fishing 4. So last weekend, we finally got up to level 12 and had our first visit out to Belaya River here. We're going to keep working on this, but instead of doing the spin fishing, I'm going to switch over to bottom fishing, because from the comments that have been coming in from Shining Rock and 600F4, it's better to try doing the night fishing here with bottom fishing than trying to spin cast. So until daylight does come along again for the next episode, we'll probably try the rods out. And I think the general advice I got was, the side of the cliffs is more where you'll want to spin fish with, and then this other side here is where you'll probably want to do bottom fishing. So we'll set a couple lines out, see if we get anything on them, and just try a little bit of our luck and see what happens. Okay, there's that one. And no, I think 2 is my other bottom one. Yeah. Okay, and we'll try the bloodworm. Now, the concise information I got, I believe, was that you can catch rough pretty reliably on Belaya River if you're using the bottom fishing rods. Cast distance was, I think, 10 meters. And, using small hooks, and either red worms, earthworms, or bloodworms as the bait. It was one specific kind of worm, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But we'll try those out in the water, see what happens. I still do have my spin fishing one here. I'll look at putting back on the Spiker 2. And maybe just give this a try as we try to listen out for any jingles from the rods there. There was a lot of information that did get thrown our way with our first visit last weekend. And it does really feel like if you want to play this game effectively, you need to read encyclopedia, to be honest. Like, there's so much information that you'll have to do a lot of trial and error with in-game learning, or, again, just look up a huge encyclopedia of all the information of everything you're trying to learn and do. And it does make me feel like I do want a break from Russian Fishing 4 in a little while. I think we'll see how this weekend goes on Belaya, try to get a few fish if we can. If not, then we'll probably try maybe just one more weekend of it. Then we'll try Old Berg for a while, see how that goes, and then maybe take a little break. I, again, don't see myself going up for the next milestone of level 17, I think it is, for new areas. I think that's just way too high of a thing to get for me going forward with how I've been covering the game so far. How many weekends has it been? This is like... It's been at least 24 weekends, which I'm trying to think of like how many months that is. That's probably like close to 6 months straight covering this game. I mean, granted, it has only been for like an hour per weekend, but it's still been a fairly steady stream with it. But yeah, again, with how it's kind of getting to be the point where it feels like you have... Ooh, there we go. It feels like you need an encyclopedia of knowledge for yourself to really be playing effectively, or even like trying to see how well you do with stuff. Okay, well, there's a familiar fish. We'll keep you, see what else we might be able to get lucky with. Haven't heard any chimes yet, so we can just leave that be. Apparently, Belaya basically has 3 hot spots to spin fish from. It's the big rock up there, the big rock down there, and I think there was one other area I was given like almost coordinates on the map for. Or something like that. I was given a couple of things. Well, yeah, when it comes to like concise information you learn in-game, it's basically just seems like a bunch of trial and error, or you have to have knowledge from outside the game brought into the game for stuff. Like, one of the things I got told about or like suggested to help would be the retrieval speed for like when we're reeling in, and that you should be going up higher to like, I think it was 22 to 30? That sounds like too big of a range, so I'm probably misquoting that. But like, to try changing up the retrieval speed and some other stuff, it's... Again, it's definitely a hardcore fishing simulator, but that also means you need to treat it as a hardcore simulator, and it can almost become a job in a way, where you need to have a lot of research done, train yourself, know exactly what you're going for, getting, etc. like that. And with how I cover stuff on the channel and that, I don't think it's something I would really go with unless, again, I'm like hard dedicating to say this is a devoted channel to this always on it, which, no, never going to happen here. As much as people might like Russian Fishing 4 and have expressed they like the series, I cannot say this is going to be forever on the channel. So I'm going to shoot your hopes down right there with that. I still will cover it for a little while going forward. Again, we've only just hit Belaya. We can give it a try, see what all happens here on it. But yeah, I'm feeling some fatigue with it. Maybe what we'll do is we'll change up location, because that's been a few casts. We only have the one thing interested in it. No chimes yet. Actually, let me check, see if the rods have gone slack at all. I don't think so. Like, I can try with this one, though, because it does look like the line's a little more slack. No, nothing. Okay, yeah, so let me just tighten that up. That's tight. That's tight. And I'll head back over to this side and try a little bit more spin fishing. Spin casting, whatever you want to call it. There we go. And again, this is more so not because I'm expecting to get a lot of fish or activity from spin casting, but it's better than just sitting at the bottom rods, waiting for something to happen that you never know when or if it will. And I'm sure there's also a lot of information that I haven't included or said that's been provided and sent me in the comments. So yeah, if you guys are looking for more tips or tricks on Belaya, the comments of last episode will probably give you some better ideas for like how to approach it, in case you are there or you're just looking for seeing what other people want to know. I'll give this a few more casts out, and I'm kind of even wondering, maybe what I'll do is for the bottom rods, I might try changing the bait back to just the regular worms and see if, like, that works for something. Mosquito Lake and even Winding Rivulet, they didn't really have any species targeted with them, but it was at least just a fair way to see kind of what general species you could catch and what you might have in the area, so might not be a bad idea. Maybe I'll just try doing that after a couple of casts here. Yeah, doesn't look like anything's interested on this go. I'll try a couple more. And we will try upriver a bit, since it does seem to want to drift down with the current. See if maybe pulling it kind of towards this little cluster of... not sure if I would call that grass or not, but this bit of foliage here. See if there's anything that might get drawn out to it. Nothing there. I'll check the lines again, although, yeah, it doesn't look like there's been any change here. And then we are starting to get daylight, so I think what I'll do is I'll try migrating up to the large rock that's to the north and see about... Oh, come on. See about trying to spin cast towards that while also keeping the bottom rods in on the other side. Does take a little bit of time to reel it in, but shouldn't take much longer. There it is. Yeah, so I'm going to change that just back to regular worm, see if that just works as kind of like a generic bait. Just gets whatever can be in the area on it. And we'll bring this art line in too. There we go. Okay, we'll put those away. Daylight is breaking. I think the sun's going to be coming up over there, although I think we're seeing reflections of it before it's already up. Okay. Yeah, so you know what? That's probably the rock there. So let's get our bottom lines out over here. Set that down. There we go. Tighten that up. That one's already got the bait. I'm not going to power throw these out. I'll just toss them out at their regular distance and see. There we go. Those are tightened up. And we can cast out towards the big rock, and we'll see if anything happens activity-wise over there. Yeah, so far, just the one perch. We'll see if we can get lucky with anything else now that day's breaking more, and it's in daylight where spin casting activity is supposed to increase for this map, or at least that's what I've been told in the information-wise that's come in. Oh! Well, finally we hear a little bit of activity from behind us. Seems like maybe it was a good call to put just the worms on. Okay, I think it's the one on the left here. Yeah. There we go. We got our second fish possibly coming in. So we'll just reel it in and see what we got. I've also been told that the cafe on Belaya River, because of the species of fish that it usually asks for, it's not going to be as viable as an option like, say, Mosquito Lake or Winding Rivulet were. So what do we got? A gibble carp. Okay. Truth be told, I wasn't expecting to really come across carp here. I thought maybe the water would kind of be a little bit more too fast flowing for them. Set you back down. There we go. That's tight. That's tight. And we'll try back over this way. And let's start bringing it in to see. Now, I don't know if, like, maybe I don't have the cast distance to get as close to the rock as usually people are fishing at, or if people... I'm wondering, too, because a lot of people have experience coming in with having played a lot, I wonder if it's because they're more used to their gear and that being able to reach out further, why these are such hot spots for them, too. Because, like, I don't think a lot of the information that has come in has been from, like, new players or people who aren't as familiar with the game and kind of picked up these tricks. Of course, again, it feels like compared to the information I get given in the comments to in-game, there's like an extra source you have to read up or watch or learn in order to just get how the game kind of plays. Which, I mean, it's just probably my personal opinion, but I always hate when a game can be a little too much information outside of itself for it. It's kind of like the thinking of, at least to me, here's this product, but you can't actually use said product unless you do 3 other steps, or you read an entire manual, or you pick up an encyclopedia with it, or something else. Okay, hang on a moment. Oh, this one going again. Okay. Let's see. There's just just getting played with right now, but not really being pulled down. So I think I can go back to this rod. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a divisive topic to mention or talk about, but that's still one thing that I've always held, is you want a game to kind of be as contained in itself as you can. Just because then I find it's more coherent, it feels more immersive, it doesn't feel like you have to have a wiki or an encyclopedia or anything else open alongside it. You can just keep lost and enjoying the main experience. Again, that just might be me and my thoughts, but that's just honestly all I can express. It is my video I'm doing, so it'll probably only be my expressions that get through on camera or in video. Because I do think at least that's one thing other people might agree with when it comes to this game, is that its tutorial could definitely use some reworking and redoing. One of you two were chiming again. Which one was it? Both lines are tight, so nothing's slack yet. I might just have to leave them be further. But then one of the things about this game, too, is it is trial and error, but in order to actually be able to try stuff out, means you'll have to be buying the products from the store, which is kind of, I think, how some of the monetization model is meant to work for the game. So as you're trying to figure out what works the best, you'll keep buying new stuff, and as you keep trying to narrow down, okay, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, that's how you slowly... It does expand what you have available to use, but it is also because you don't know exactly what works unless you look it up. It could be the encouragement of trying to get you to go into the premium stuff and spending real money for it. Again, if you do want to play without spending any money, you easily can by doing a lot of research and looking up guides and that. But I'd say Russian Fishing 4 isn't really a game I'd recommend, because it turns heavily into a hardcore simulator. Like, again, I'm not sure if I would qualify this as a game or a simulator, more of how it, like, operates and plays. I do hear the rod behind us, but we also got... I actually can't tell what this is on the line. This might be a new species. I think it is for us. Oh, it's a brown trout. Actually, decent amount of experience for it, too. Okay, we'll keep that. And yeah, that line is freaking the heck out, so which one is it? I think it's the one on the right. Yeah, I think it's this one, because that looks like it's... There we go. I was going to say, it looked like it was going pretty slack for us. And it does seem, now that we're getting into daylight hours, maybe this is when the fish are really active on the map. Maybe it's not just for spin fishing, but it's also for bottom fishing a little bit, too. Looks like another gibble carp, I think? Yeah, another little gibble. Okay, well, I'll cast this back out. I don't know if there's actually something on the other rod yet. It doesn't really have that definitive, okay, yeah, there's something to really act on to me. So I might wait a little more before I check this one. But that lets me turn around and do a little bit more spin casting out here and see what else we can get. Maybe it is just that Belaya has more active daylight hours to it, and again, our first trip, because I was playing more towards the evening for in-game, I was just having bad luck and hitting all the wrong spots. If you're looking for a hardcore fishing simulator that brings you as realistic as possible, it's definitely Russian Fishing 4. But if you're looking for a more casual fishing game just to play and enjoy for a little bit, I think you'll probably want to look for something else. Because this is It's one of those games I could see leaning into needing the hours that almost like becomes a second job or a part-time job for if you really want to go with it. Like, I mean, prime example is, I guess, kind of how the series has been so far. Each episode's been around 20 to 30 minutes. We've had 50 episodes so far, so... Actually, in truth, I'm not sure how many hours I have played of Russian Fishing 4. I might have to check that and see, but yeah, it's one of those ones, it's going to be a time investment. So it's one of those things, if you really are looking to basically just, you can't fish in real life and you want to have something that is as close as possible, this would be the game for, well, the simulator for you. Kind of surprised we didn't hear anything else from that one rod, but we'll give another couple of casts, see if anything happens here, and then maybe just to change up location a little bit next episode, we'll try to go down to the south end where the other rock is. Set you down? Because I heard a jingling. Now, which one of you was it? Of course, now you both want to stop acting up. Okay. Well, we'll take this rod again, just bring it in, and then maybe we'll see just whatever happens to those two lines and end this episode off with them. We have at least seen one new species of fish, which is nice. Hopefully, as we do go down to the other spot, we might get a little luckier and we can bring a few more in. Okay, we'll put that rod away. And yeah, see, nothing really happening to either of them. The lines aren't slack. They aren't really moving direction. I don't want to give them too much longer, but we'll give them a little bit of time. And then we'll end the episode, go for a little jog to the other end, and see if we can get any luckier down there. Yeah, you know what? Because I don't know which one was jingling, I don't know which one I want to take in first. And both lines are taut as they are. I'll start with this one bringing in. Yeah, there's nothing on it. I'll just give the other one a little bit of time in case there's anything there, but if not, that's no trouble. Yeah, nothing on that. I can't remember what the ground bait... I think it's just ready-made that's on this, but let me check. Yeah, it is just ready-made. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was like one of the specific mixes still, or if I used all that up. But yeah, we'll just bring these both in and then end this episode. Better than last episode, at least, and we got to try out a little bit more. Again, there's so much information that gets tossed in the comments. It's a lot to try to compile together at times. I'll put that away, and we'll end this episode of Russian Fishing 4 right here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And until I do catch you in the next video, anglers and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling.